The story begins in Shanghai City. In a quiet room, a woman with blue-green hair, Zhang Wangshan, is breastfeeding her newborn son. She tells her baby, Chenchen, how lucky he is to just eat and sleep, smiling that while she's losing sleep over him, it's worth it if he grows up healthy. Unknown to her, the baby is not ordinary. He is reincarnated and has the consciousness of his former life. As he feeds, he notes his brain isn't fully developed, yet he is aware. A blue, game-like status screen appears, identifying him as Lin Zichen, 33 days old, with a biological level of Ordinary Tier 1. He realizes he has a special cheat ability. At 3 months old, Lin Zichen is in his crib while his parents, Zhang Wanxin and Lin Yansheng, watch him. His father remarks on how physically gifted the baby seems, predicting he will become a mighty gene fuser, or at least a cyborg. As they speak, Lin Zichen is kicking. A system notification announces he has kicked 10,000 times, granting him the biological attribute Use and Advance. This skill allows any part of his body he trains to grow infinitely stronger within carbon-based limits. He feels his strength grow and wonders what his father meant by gene fusers and cyborgs, imagining superheroes. By 4 months old, Lin Zichen has learned to sit up and crawl. To avoid frightening his parents with his unnaturally fast development, he trains only at night. Each time he crawls, his system rewards him with points. A month later, at 5 months old, he has mastered walking. At 6 months, he can finally sit up and crawl in front of his parents without it seeming too strange. While watching television, a news report on aberrant beasts shows gene fusers and cyborgs joining forces to fight them. For the first time, Lin Zichen understands this world is vastly different from his old one. He learns this Earth has mutated, giving rise to terrifying creatures called aberrant beasts. To fight them, humanity developed 2 paths. The first is mechanical ascension, where humans modify their bodies with technology to become powerful cyborgs. The second is gene modification, where humans fuse their genes with aberrant beasts, becoming gene fusers to fight monsters with their own power. Realizing the dangers, the reincarnated Lin Zichen resolves to use his system to grow up safely, evolve his abilities while laying low, and survive in this perilous world. One day, the doorbell rings. Zhang Wangshin opens it to a woman in a blue dress, Xu Ming, their new next-door neighbor. Xu Meng introduces her family, her husband, Shen Jianye, and their young daughter, Shen Qinghan, who clutches a doll. Lin Zichen looks at the little girl with purple hair. He acknowledges Shen Qinghan as his first friend in this new world, sensing their destinies will one day be tightly bound. Time passes, and Lin Zichen dedicates himself to training. At 7 months, thanks to his use and advanced skill, he has mastered running, jumping, and basic language by talking to himself, earning stat points for each activity. By 8 months, his training has progressed to doing sit-ups and push-ups in his crib. He is careful to practice only when his parents are not around. But one day, his mother, Zhang Wangshin, walks onto the balcony and is shocked to see her 8-month-old son doing sit-ups. She rubs her eyes in disbelief. However, being a web novel author, she dismisses it as a stress-induced hallucination. Lin Zichen immediately pretends to be asleep, breathing a sigh of relief and making a mental note to be more cautious. A few days later, while giving him a bath, Zhang Wangshin makes another shocking discovery. She screams for her husband, Lin Yansheng. When he rushes in, she points out that their 8-month-old son has defined abs. Lin Yansheng is stunned. He excitedly suggests their son might be a 1-in-a-million prodigy with a bright future as a powerful gene fuser or cyborg. Hearing this genius narrative, Lin Zichen is relieved his secret is safe, realizing how lucky he is to have 2 web novel authors for parents. Lin Zichen reflects that on this mutated Earth, he is not the only genius. He and his mother watch a news report about a 2-year-old from a martial arts family who can lift a 20 kilos dumbbell with one hand. Zhang Wangshin pulls her son close, proudly stating that her Chenchen is just as amazing. Lin Zichen is touched by his mother's confidence and wonders if he'll also be able to lift 20 kilos when he turns 2. By the time Lin Zichen turns 2, his training has paid off. He has kept a low profile while secretly developing his strength, easily lifting a 20 kilos weight with one hand in the storage room. His session is interrupted when his mother calls that Han Han, Shen Qinghan's nickname, is here to play. Startled, he puts the weight down and goes out. He opens the door to find Shen Qinghan, now also 2, offering him a tart. Lin Zichen internally remarks that due to their different mental ages, they don't play conventionally. While Han Han is a typical toddler, he uses every moment to train. He has found a unique way to spend time with her. Since she likes to stick close, she serves as a perfect custom-sized weighted vest for his exercises. There is, however, one recurring problem, which he is reminded of when he feels a warm wetness and cries out that Han has peed on him again. Another year passes. At age 3, Lin Zichen's strength has grown exponentially, and he can lift a 40 kilograms weight with one hand. While watching TV, he sees a report about a 4-year-old prodigy lifting a 30 kilograms dumbbell and notes with satisfaction that he is already stronger. Despite his progress, his system still shows his biological level as ordinary Tier 1. He wonders what it would take to reach Tier 2. With these questions in mind, he steps out of his house for the first time. The world outside is a stunning, futuristic cityscape with beastmen and cyborgs, which he assumes are the gene fusers and cyborgs he's heard about. Accompanied by his mother and their neighbors, Shumeng and Shen Qinghan, he heads to the library. Since his parents don't let him use electronic devices, books are his best source of information. At the library, his mother points him toward the children's section, but Lin Zichen heads for advanced encyclopedias, with a worried Shen Qinghan following. The mothers watch in confusion. Shumeng asks why he likes these books, and Zhang Wangxin guesses it's his genius genes. While Shen Qinghan offers him cookies, Lin Zichen is absorbed in his reading. Through the books, he learns that all life is categorized into 6 biological levels: ordinary, advanced, rare, epic, legendary, and mythical, each divided into 9 tiers. He realizes normal humans like his parents are at the bottom, ordinary Tier 1, as insignificant as ants compared to higher-level beings. This knowledge lights a fire under Lin Zichen. He must accelerate his training while maintaining his cover. His system alerts him to a new quest: read 100 million characters to be rewarded with the celestial root of wisdom. Excited to train both mind and body, he accepts. For the next year, Lin Zichen splits his time between physical training and voracious reading. At age 4, he and Shen Qinghan begin kindergarten, holding hands with the IR teacher, Ms. Zhang Mei. His hard work pays off. Soon after starting school, he breaks through to ordinary Tier 2. His physical prowess is immense. He can lift an 80 kilograms weight with one hand, high jump 1.2 meters, and sprint 100 meters in under 11 seconds. Outstanding stats for an adult, let alone a kindergartner. One day, he finds children surrounding a crying Shen Qinghan, calling her a bedwetter. Seeing his friend bullied, he knows he must act. He leaps dramatically into the center of the bullies. He glares and unleashes a terrifying threat. If anyone bullies Han again, he will pee on their bed every day. The childish but menacing threat works. The bullies burst into tears, vowing never to return to kindergarten. Shen Qinghan looks at her protector with admiration. This act unlocks a new achievement, the title of Kindergarten Kid King, and a new series of quests. He is delighted he can work on multiple quests at once. Half a year later, he completes his reading quest. Having read 100 million characters, he is awarded the Celestial Root of Wisdom, granting him a perfect eidetic memory and peak human learning ability. Time flies, and soon he and Shen Qinghan are almost 7, posing for their kindergarten graduation photo. Even during vacation, Lin Zichen does not rest, now strong enough to train with a massive 200-kilo barbell. During the vacation, his abilities reached new heights. He could leap over 2 meters high and had broken the 8-second barrier in the 100-meter dash with a time of 7.98 seconds. His mind was just as sharp. Boosted by his new attribute, he had already finished most of the elementary school curriculum. His new life began at Sunshine Elementary School. Because he was already self-studying advanced subjects, academic competitions were easy. He effortlessly took first place at the National Elementary School Academic Competition, just to unlock his title as quickly as possible. Whenever he had free time, he would give Shen Qinghan private tutoring. Though not an exceptional talent, she was diligent. With his help, her grades improved dramatically, and after one semester, she was ranked second in the class, with Lin Zichen holding first place. To speed up his quest, he also participated in school sports meets, breaking every record. Just when he thought his school life would continue in this predictable routine, a special new transfer student appeared. The teacher introduced the newcomer, a girl with long, silvery blue hair named Bai Shui. Lin Zichen immediately knew she was different. As she stood in the doorway, he could sense a faint, unusual aura that did not belong to a normal human. As the new transfer student, Bai Shui, walks to find a seat, the other students watch her curiously. Shen Qinghan leans over to Lin Zichen, whom she calls Xiao Chen, and whispers about how pretty Bai Shui's hair is, like winter snowflakes. However, Lin Zichen is not in the mood to discuss aesthetics. As Bai Shui sits near him, his mind is on the strange, non-human aura he senses from her. He wonders if she could be a gene fuser or the descendant of one. In the following days, Baizue proves to be an enigma. She doesn't speak to anyone and lays her head on her desk the moment class ends, remaining motionless. She barely even gets up for the restroom. At first, students are curious, even taking photos with her while she sleeps. But as her behavior doesn't change, they lose interest, and the classroom returns to its routine. This peace is shattered over a month later. A bizarre phenomenon begins. Bai Shui starts to secrete a viscous, white liquid. The substance has a foul odor and drips down her clothes and legs. The other students react with disgust, complaining about the terrible smell. A mean-spirited boy sneers a crude comment about the liquid and then pours his water bottle over her head, claiming he's washing her out. Humiliated and soaked, Bai Shui clenches her fist on the desk, and tears stream down her face as she begins to cry, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. The bullies erupt in cruel laughter at her distress. Watching from their desks, Shen Qinghan turns to Lin Zichen with a worried expression, asking if they can help poor Bai Shui. Lin Zichen is confused. He had sensed Bai Shui was dangerous, so he can't understand why she is crying. He agrees to help. As he walks towards the bullies, he reevaluates his assessment. While he still doesn't understand her, he realizes that for now, she isn't a threat. She is just a weak girl being bullied, and he has to step in. Lin Zichen walks up to the main bully and grabs him by the collar, calling out his name, Guan Chun. With a menacing smile, he orders the boy to wipe the water off Bai Shui's desk. Guan Chun is terrified and stammers that he'll wipe it up right away. The other bullies know they are in trouble. Lin Zichen is notorious at school for being skilled at both academics and fighting. Not even 6th graders dared to mess with him. Knowing it's better to comply, they quickly grab tissues and clean up the mess. Once the desk is clean, Lin Zichen's gaze sweeps over the group. He commands everyone involved to apologize to her immediately. The bullies, sweating and terrified, quickly comply. They line up before her desk and bow their heads, offering apologies and promising never to bully her again. With the bullies gone, Bai Shui looks up, her eyes still tearful. She gratefully thanks both Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan. Shen Qinghan puts a comforting hand on Bai Shui's shoulder, telling her that classmates are supposed to help each other. From that day on, Shen Qinghan makes it her mission to befriend the quiet, white-haired girl, always dragging Lin Zichen along. The three begin spending their free time together. Shen Qinghan is especially kind, always sharing her tastiest snacks with Bai Shui first. During one of these moments, as Shen Qinghan offers her a treat, Bai Shui hesitates. She looks at them and asks if they aren't disgusted by her because she smells so bad. She explains she's sorry for not trusting them, but since she was little, she has always been ostracized by everyone. Having someone be nice to her feels so unreal that she thinks she must be dreaming. Bai Shui looks up in surprise when Shen Qinghan tells her firmly that this is not a dream. Shen Qinghan smiles gently and says she knows what it's like, so she would never be disgusted by her. She declares that as long as Bai Shui is willing, they will be friends forever, pulling a slightly exasperated Lin Zichen into the promise. Overcome with emotion, Bai Shui tightly hugs Shen Qinghan. Tears of gratitude stream down her face as she thanks them for their kindness. After composing herself, she tells them she wants to give them a gift in return. She holds out a necklace with a pair of beast fangs, explaining it was a birthday present from her mother. She gives it to them, hoping it can be a symbol of their friendship. Shen Qinghan enthusiastically agrees, and the three children stand together in the schoolyard as the sun sets, joyfully declaring they will be friends forever. However, just as their newfound friendship was solidified, the unexpected happened. One day, Shen Qinghan is stunned to learn that Bai Shui has transferred out of the school. Lin Zichen confirms it, revealing that he saw her filling out the withdrawal papers. He flashes back to watching from the principal's office doorway. He saw Bai Shui with the principal and a large, intimidating man with cybernetic arms. The principal assured the man that Bai Shui's paperwork was complete and her information would be kept confidential. The encounter confirmed Lin Zichen's suspicions that Bai Shui's identity was not simple. From that day on, he never saw Bai Shui again, left to wonder about her. But he notes that the events that followed were what truly captured his attention. Sometime later, Lin Zichen is at home giving his mother, Zhang Wangxin, a shoulder massage. She sighs in relief, telling him the massage is perfect after a long day of typing. Lin Zichen internally notes that he learned professional massage techniques thanks to his celestial root of wisdom and is surprised by its usefulness. Their quiet evening is interrupted by a major news report. It features another incredible achievement by the Kyoto prodigy. At just 10 years old, the boy has successfully fused with aberrant beast genes and can now lift a 500 kilograms boulder with one hand. Lin Zichen recognizes the boy and realizes with a jolt that his rival has already begun gene fusion. His father, Lin Yansheng, complains that the Kyoto prodigy is always on TV, questioning if they are trying to turn him into an influencer. The parents discuss it. Lin Yansheng explains the boy is from a 1,000-year-old martial arts family, so they likely have advanced gene fusion technology. Zhang Wangxin argues it's wrong to use a child as a guinea pig. Her husband counters that for such a family interests come first, earning a sarcastic "you know everything" from his wife. While his parents bicker, Lin Zichen is deep in thought. He recalls that before the fusion, the prodigy could lift 100 kilograms. Now he can lift 500 kilograms, a five-fold increase. In comparison, Lin Zichen, at only 8, can already lift a 300 kilograms weight with one hand without any gene fusion. He concludes with a confident fist pump that his own potential is far greater. His confidence was soaring, but that feeling was short-lived. The next news report taught him the true meaning of fear. Breaking news shows a city in a neighboring country completely devastated by a massive explosion. The report states that based on footage, the attack was carried out by giant, aberrant rats. The screen shows horrifying images of monstrous rats swarming the ruins, capturing a screaming woman in their massive jaws, and then brutally devouring her. The news report continues, confirming heretics were responsible for the aberrant rat attack, fanning the flames from the shadows. At a press conference, an official from the devastated Sakura country pleads for international aid, explaining the heretics are a shadowy cult manipulating the beasts. Watching the news, Lin Zichen learns the cult is an anti-human organization of traitors who serve the aberrant beasts for their own gain. He feels relieved to be born in a powerful, stable country, giving him a safe place to grow stronger while laying low. His thoughts are shattered by sonic booms outside. He rushes to the window and pulls back the curtain to see a squadron of heavily armed cyborgs flying through the night sky. He wonders why so many are being deployed, hoping nothing bad is happening. The next morning, everything seems normal. Lin Zichen waits for Shen Qinghan, who runs up, apologizing for being late. As she approaches, he notices something strange. The beast fang necklace Bai Shui gave them, now worn by Shen Qinghan, emits a bright blue glow. He realizes the fang is from an aberrant beast and the source of the faint, non-human aura he'd sensed from her. The glow fades as quickly as it appeared, and the two don't think much of it. However, between the cyborgs and the fang's reaction, Lin Zichen feels that something bad is about to happen. On their way to school, a striking woman with long red hair in a black dress leans against a lamppost, watching them. She comments on what adorable kids they are and steps in front of them, asking if they are brother and sister. Shen Qinghan proudly corrects her, explaining they are childhood best friends. The woman smiles wistfully, remarking how she wishes she had a childhood friend too. Then, her expression turns sinister. She leans in, eyes glinting, and asks why they're going to school alone and where their parents are. As Shen Qinghan begins to answer, Lin Zichen quickly grabs her hand, cutting her off. He pulls her along, stating they're going to be late, leaving the mysterious woman behind. Once a safe distance away, he gently scolds Shen Qinghan, reminding her not to talk to strangers. She nods. After school, Lin Zichen leads them through a deserted alleyway. Shen Qinghan nervously comments on how creepy it is. Lin Zichen explains the area is scheduled for demolition, and everyone has already moved out. Their walk is interrupted by a familiar voice. The red-haired woman from the morning appears, commenting on how they are finally out of school. She's not alone. A large, muscular man named Sheng is with her. The woman tells Sheng she's got the kids over here. Lin Zichen is alarmed. He had deliberately chosen a different route, but she had somehow followed them. The woman tries to lure them closer with a sweet voice, offering them treats. Her accomplice, Sheng, grows impatient. He tells her to stop talking and just knock the kids out so they can get it over with. Without another word, Sheng rushes toward them with a cloth, shouting he's in a hurry to sell them for cash. As he closes in, Lin Zichen shoves Shen Qinghan out of the way and squares up to face him. He clenches his fist and throws a powerful punch with all his might. The blow connects squarely with Sheng's face, stopping the larger man in his tracks. The immense force sends Sheng flying backward down the alley with a pained cry. The red-haired woman watches in utter disbelief, shocked that an elementary schooler could send a grown man flying. On the ground, Sheng coughs up blood, stunned. With Sheng down, Lin Zichen turns to the red-haired woman. Before she can react, he lands a solid punch to her midsection, followed by a powerful uppercut that knocks her unconscious. Standing over the defeated kidnappers, his expression hardens. He picks up a nearby brick, his intentions grim. He reasons that with no cameras in the deserted alley, he must finish them off. If they live, his superhuman powers will be exposed, ruining his plan to lay low and grow stronger. Just as he is about to deliver the final blow, the ground trembles violently. A powerful earthquake shakes the alley, catching them off guard. A moment later, a massive, clawed hand smashes through a nearby building wall. A monstrous giant aberrant rat emerges from the dust and rubble, towering over them. The beast ignores the children and looms over the unconscious woman, but instead of devouring her, it decapitates her with a swift swipe of its claws. The rat then picks up her severed head as Shen Qinghan screams in terror. Recognizing the danger, Lin Zichen scoops the horrified Shen Qinghan into his arms. He tells her it's a giant aberrant rat and they have to get to safety. He turns and sprints away, carrying her as they flee. As they escape, a flash of red and gold streaks through the sky. A female cyborg with blonde hair and rabbit ear attachments on her helmet dives into the alley. She moves with incredible speed, a blur of motion as she zips past the rat. Shen Qinghan, looking over Lin Zichen's shoulder, exclaims how unbelievably fast the cyborg is. The cyborg lands gracefully behind the monster. Facing the rat, the female cyborg prepares her attack. Her gauntlet glows as she charges her weapon and announces, "Anesthetic smoke." She fires projectiles at the monster, causing massive explosions that rock the alley. Lin Zichen shields Shen Qinghan from the blast. The aberrant rat is caught in the fiery explosions, roaring in pain, and is left dazed by the anesthetic smoke. Seeing her opening, the cyborg surges forward and finishes off the weakened beast in a flurry of strikes. Later, Lin Zichen watches a news report about the incident at home. He analyzes the fight, concluding the cyborg's power level probably isn't very high. He reasons she had to weaken the rat first, and it still took her 7 minutes to kill it. He reflects on the danger of giant aberrant rats, knowing they are tough creatures that can grow over 10 meters long and reach ordinary 5th tier. Fortunate that they escaped unharmed, the incident reminds him of the world's dangers. He resolves to increase his training to protect himself and those he cares about. He is later seen in his training space, doing weighted squats with a heavy barbell, his system rewarding him with points. Although the threat of aberrant rats looms, life continues. Soon, he and Shen Qinghan celebrate their 9th birthday with both families around a large cake. After making wishes, they exchange gifts. Thanks to his celestial root of wisdom, Lin Zichen had taught himself to carve in one night and crafted an intricate wooden hairpin for Shen Qinghan. She is overjoyed, placing it in her hair and exclaiming how much she loves it. Time passes quickly, and soon Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan graduate from elementary school and start middle school. As they leave, his system notifies him that he has completed the Dominate 9 years of compulsory education achievement, unlocking the Kindergarten Kid King and Elementary School Top Dog titles. He becomes excited to unlock the Middle School Overlord title next, which will grant him the Survival of the Fittest attribute. During the break, he sticks to a high-intensity training regimen. His training includes 1,000 push-ups with a massive boulder on his back, granting him huge stat boosts. His hard work pays off. Just before school begins, after a 10 kilometers run, his system announces his biological level has broken through to ordinary 3rd tier. His physical attributes increase dramatically. He can now lift 700 kilograms with one hand, has a vertical jump of 4 meters, and can run the 100-meter dash in 6 seconds. As his power grows, he wonders what level the Kyoto prodigy has reached. Coincidentally, a news story airs on TV the night before school starts. The report reveals the now 14-year-old prodigy has fused with giant ant genes and can lift a 2,000 kilograms alloy block with one hand. Lin Zichen calculates that since giant ant genes increase strength by a factor of 4 to 8, the prodigy's true lift without the gene enhancement is only around 500 kilograms. This means Lin Zichen is still fundamentally stronger. He smiles, imagining how powerful he will become with future gene fusion. The next day, middle school begins. Because he was the city's top student, all the best middle schools tried to recruit him. He accepted the invitation from Shanghai Middle School, but only if Shen Qinghan could be in his class. During registration, they are welcomed by the principal and their new homeroom teacher, who express how much they are counting on him. After a few pleasantries, he makes an excuse and leaves with Shen Qinghan. The real reason he chose Shanghai Middle School was for its excellent athletic facilities. They had planned to play badminton on the school's court before classes officially started. On the court, an excited Shen Qinghan tells Lin Zichen, "Xiao Chen, they should start." She serves with a flourish, calling out her fairy's curveball. Lin Zichen easily catches the shuttlecock mid-air, but their game is interrupted. A group of upperclassmen approaches, and their leader, in a backward cap, snatches the shuttlecock, informing them the court is reserved. His friends mockingly offer to let Shen Qinghan stay and spar with them. Shen Qinghan stands her ground, telling them they have to follow the rules, and they were there first. Lin Zichen, seeing them get too close to Shen Qinghan, steps in with a cold expression. He tells them to get away from her and reminds them of the first come, first served rule. The leader scoffs, arrogantly declaring he is taking the court. The leader holds the shuttlecock and tosses it up, but before he can serve, Lin Zichen moves. He declares that from now on, his rules are the only ones that matter. With a surge of power, he leaps and smashes the shuttlecock with incredible force. The shuttlecock rockets across the court, a white blur. It moves so fast, the leader barely has time to react. The force of the impact shatters his racket and sends his cap flying. The upperclassmen are left in shock, sweating and trembling. They wonder if Lin Zichen is even human, questioning if he's a gene fuser. One notes with terror that if the shot had been off by a little, their boss's head would have been taken off. Thoroughly intimidated, the upperclassmen bow deeply in apology. They tell Lin Zichen they understand the rules now and will be leaving immediately. They then beat a hasty retreat. Perhaps because word of the incident spread, no one ever dared to bully Lin Zichen or Shen Qinghan again. Aside from being bigger with better facilities, their new school life felt much the same. Academically, Lin Zichen was far ahead, having finished the middle school curriculum long ago. During class, he would read interesting books to pass the time. At night, after workouts, he would use his celestial root of wisdom to learn new skills online, quickly dabbling in cooking, photography, driving, swimming, and various sports. To unlock the middle school overlord title, he didn't just rank first in every subject, he also represented the school in national competitions. He stood amidst a mountain of trophies. To keep a low profile, he was careful not to win first place in every competition. A semester went by, and the title still hadn't unlocked. However, his performances earned him many fangirls who left stacks of love letters on his desk. He ignored them. Aside from tutoring Shen Qinghan, he focused on the upcoming school sports festival. He believed that if he completely dominated it, he should finally unlock the title. For the festival, he entered only 3 events: shot put, high jump, and sprinting, representing strength, jumping, and speed. He achieved an astonishing 201-meter throw in the shot put. Although he held back to avoid seeming too superhuman, he still easily took first place in all his events. Just as he was sitting with Shen Qinghan, admiring his gold medal, he felt a new power surge through his body. A system notification appeared, announcing that because his achievements far surpassed every other student, he had unlocked the middle school overlord title. With all 3 school-age titles unlocked, the Dominate 9 years of compulsory education achievement was complete, and he had obtained the new biological attribute, survival of the fittest. As the power flowed through him, he realized with satisfaction that the title had finally unlocked. As Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan leave school, he considers his new survival of the fittest attribute. The ability lets a predator devour the life essence of other creatures to evolve. He wonders what life essence is, lost in thought until Shen Qinghan calls for him to wait. Snapping back to reality, he gets an idea. He asks Shen Qinghan if he can borrow her beast fang necklace. She agrees and hands it to him. The moment his fingers touch the fang, a system notification appears. It informs him he has devoured a trace of the abyssal giant butterfly's life essence, unlocking a new guidebook with 1% progress. A spectral image of a massive, dark butterfly with eyes on its wings appears around him. He is stunned to realize the fang is a butterfly's tooth. That night, hoping to learn more, he searches for abyssal giant butterfly online. To his surprise, the search returns no results. Realizing he'll have to study this exotic beast on his own, he remembers Bai Shui had given them a pair of fangs. He rummages through his bag and finds the second tooth. Holding the second fang, he once again absorbs its power. Another system notification confirms he has devoured a second trace of life essence, but the guidebook progress only increases to 2%. He looks at the fang with disappointment, realizing there isn't much life essence left in it. He concludes he must find another way to unlock the abyssal giant butterfly's full power. The next day after school, to boost his training and ensure a quick escape route from any aberrant beasts, Lin Zichen starts biking Shen Qinghan to and from school every day. As they leave the school grounds, a man calls out to him, "Zichen!" The man, in a tracksuit, stops them and introduces himself as Coach Guo from the school's martial arts team. He praises Lin Zichen's performance at the sports meet as the best in school history. With great enthusiasm, Coach Guo formally invites him to join the team, insisting his athletic talent surpasses his academic abilities. He urges Lin Zichen to say yes, but also offers him time to learn about the team before deciding. Coach Guo speaks so quickly and passionately that Lin Zichen doesn't get a chance to say no. Waving goodbye as they ride off, the coach tells them the martial arts team is in room C of the gym and that he'll be waiting for him if he's free to visit the next day. As the sun sets, Lin Zichen is back in his room, ready to test his new ability. He claps his hands, squashing a cockroach and a mosquito he found. He opens his hands to examine the dead insects, but feels no power surge. He realizes killing such small, ordinary creatures didn't trigger the skill. He deduces that only powerful or exotic beasts carry enough life essence to be devoured for his evolution. To verify his new theory, Lin Zichen decides to visit a supermarket that sells beast meat. With Shen Qinghan on the back, he bikes them into the city. They soon arrive at a large, multi-story supermarket. Inside, they walk through the aisles, and Lin Zichen notes that while there is plenty of beast meat, it's all pre-packaged. He knows he can't test his theory without touching the meat. Just as he's feeling frustrated, he hears a butcher advertising fresh-cut beast meat. He spots a counter with a sign reading, "Fresh beast meat, not pre-packaged, safe to eat," where a butcher is cutting up large sides of meat. Telling a confused Shen Qinghan to wait, he says he's going to check out the meat. He doesn't explain further, eager to confirm his suspicions, and rushes to the counter. He reaches out and places his hand on a slice of freshly cut beast meat. The moment he makes contact, a powerful surge of purple energy flows into him. Just as he thought, the beast meat contains a strong surge of life essence. He clenches his fist in excitement, a wide grin on his face. Shen Qinghan watches, bewildered, wondering why he is so excited just from touching meat. She approaches him with a look of confused concern, asking how the meat feels. Trying to play it cool, Lin Zichen casually tells a bewildered Shen Qinghan that the meat just feels fresher than normal and asks if she wants to touch it too. She frantically waves her hands and refuses, saying he has touched it enough for both of them. Having confirmed his theory, Lin Zichen decides to buy some of the beast meat to try at home, surprising Shen Qinghan. He isn't surprised by her reaction, knowing beast meat is incredibly expensive. Even the cheapest option, the ghost shadow squid, costs nearly 1,000 yen per jin. Deciding to go with the squid, he picks up a package. Shen Qinghan panics at the price, telling him it's too expensive and that he should ask his mother first. Lin Zichen simply smiles and pats her head reassuringly. He tells her not to worry, making up a lie that his mom had already told him to buy plenty for both of their families. A flashback shows his mother, Zhang Wangshan, happily agreeing to cook a feast. Internally, Lin Zichen admits that while sharing is part of his plan, his other, more important reason is to test if he can absorb life essence through consumption, as he worries direct absorption might spoil the meat. At the checkout, he buys 3 packages of the ghost shadow squid for a hefty 29.94 yen. The female cashier thanks him. As they leave, Lin Zichen thinks about how expensive the meat was, wondering when they'll be able to afford it again. By the time they finish shopping, it is after 9 p.m. Knowing the city has been chaotic lately, they decide to head straight home for safety. On the ride home, Lin Zichen can't stop thinking about his experiment. Unable to wait, he discreetly places his hand on the package of meat in the basket. He immediately feels a familiar surge of purple energy. His system confirms he has devoured a trace of the ghost shadow squid's life essence. A new guidebook for the creature is unlocked, but his progress is only 0.1%. A spectral image of the menacing, multi-eyed squid appears in his mind. As they bike through the quiet streets, he does some mental math. He realizes devouring a small amount of meat only unlocked a fraction of its power. He estimates he'd need to devour 100 jins to reach 100% on the guidebook, costing a staggering 100,000 yen. He considers the squid's special ability, to dissolve into water and vanish, and decides the powerful skill is worth the price. His course is clear. He needs to make a huge sum of money, as he can't ask his family for that much. He then remembers his second reason for buying the meat, to test if absorbing its life essence would cause it to spoil. He glances at the package. It's been a while, but the meat looks perfectly fresh. He grins, delighted that absorbing the essence doesn't ruin the meat. As he continues to absorb its power, his progress bar for the squid climbs to 3%. His concentration is broken when Shen Qinghan shouts a warning. He slams on the brakes, screeching to a halt just inches from a couple in the bike lane, and apologizes. He scolds himself for not watching where he was going, then wonders why the lane is so crowded. Shen Qinghan points ahead. They see a tense standoff. A muscular, red-haired man is holding a woman hostage at knife point. Shen Qinghan recognizes the hostage in terror as their teacher, Chao Mei. The man shouts threats at the crowd. The area is surrounded by police officers who try to de-escalate the situation through a megaphone. The police captain holds back an officer, Ah Bing, telling him not to shoot recklessly. The captain explains the target is too close to the hostage and using her as a shield, making a clean shot impossible. The officer suggests sleeping gas, but the captain rejects it, fearing it would provoke the suspect before it could take effect. While the police hesitate, Lin Zichen decides to act. He discreetly picks up a small rock from the pavement and flicks it with incredible speed and precision. The rock strikes Officer Ah Bing's gun, causing it to misfire. The stray bullet hits the hostage-taker's hand, forcing him to cry out and drop his knife, releasing Teacher Cao Mei. Seizing the opportunity, the police captain yells for his team to move in. The officers rush forward and swiftly arrest the disarmed suspect, while a female officer comforts the terrified but unharmed Teacher Cao Mei. As the situation is controlled, Lin Zichen quietly gets back on his bike. Shen Qinghan looks at him with wide, questioning eyes and asks if he threw the rock. He quickly shushes her, saying they should leave and talk later, and they pedal away. Just as they are about to get away, a voice commands them to stop. The police captain calls out, asking if Lin Zichen was the one who threw the rock. Panicked at being caught, Lin Zichen quickly denies everything with a nervous smile. The captain watches them pedal away, finding it strange that someone wouldn't want to admit to a good deed. He muses aloud that there's a reward for bravery. The word reward instantly catches Lin Zichen's attention. Needing money, he slams on his brakes, skids to a halt, and rushes back to the captain. He sheepishly retracts his denial, admitting he threw the rock and explaining that the money is really important to him. The captain tells him to come to the station to make a report, promising to help him apply for the reward. After informing their families, Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan prepare to head to the police station. He assumes everything will go smoothly, but as the police lead the cuffed suspect away, something goes horribly wrong. The suspect's face begins to twist grotesquely. The police realize with horror that he's a heretic and is mutating into a giant aberrant rat right before their eyes. The monster breaks its cuffs and goes on a rampage, swiping its massive claws at the officers. The police captain gets on his radio, ordering all forces to open fire but to protect the civilians. The officers unload their weapons, but the bullets have no effect. A frantic report comes in, identifying the heretic as having fused with Rat King genes and calling for immediate backup. Realizing the danger, Lin Zichen apologizes, grabs both of them and pulls them away, urging them to run. He is relieved the monster isn't chasing them, but knows they need to get away fast. As they flee, a new figure streaks down from the sky in a purple aura. It's a female cyborg in sleek, futuristic armor. She lands a powerful blow on the giant rat, sending it staggering backward. Hovering in the air, the cyborg, a woman with short, dark purple hair, begins to charge a laser cannon in her chest. With a command to fire, she unleashes a massive, devastating beam of purple energy that engulfs the mutant rat. The creature roars in agony as it is completely disintegrated, leaving nothing but scorched remains. Lin Zichen watches, stunned by the cyborg's incredible power. With the threat gone, Teacher Cao Mei and Shen Qinghan breathe sighs of relief. Lin Zichen, however, is more concerned about his bike, noting with relief that the blast didn't hit it, which would have been a huge financial loss. Just as the tension subsides, he has a sudden realization. He looks into the bike's basket and sees the expensive ghost shadow squid meat has spoiled, giving off a foul smell. He now understands his initial theory was correct. Absorbing the life essence causes the meat to spoil, but there's a delay. Holding up a limp tentacle, he realizes he needs an excuse and decides to blame the fight and the now-deceased heretic. Putting on a dramatic show, he throws the spoiled tentacle down, loudly blaming the heretic and the cyborg's attack for roasting the meat. Teacher Cao Mei comforts him, saying what matters is that they're all safe. Although they plan to go home, at the captain's request, they end up riding with the security team to the station. They didn't expect to be transported in the same van as the heretic's remains. After the laser blast, all that was left was a pile of scorched flesh on a gurney, and the smell was intense. As he sits in the foul-smelling van, another thought strikes Lin Zichen. He remembers that the beast fangs from Bai Shui still contained life essence long after the creature was dead. A new possibility dawns on him. Could there be life essence left in this corpse as well? And if so, could he devour the corpse's Rat King gene for himself? Sitting in the police van, Lin Zichen wonders how much of the Rat King gene he can devour from the heretic's scorched corpse. Deciding to find out, he discreetly reaches his hand towards the remains. The moment he makes contact, he feels a powerful surge of red energy. His system confirms he has devoured a trace of the giant mutant rat's life essence, unlocking its guidebook with an impressive 5% progress. He is shocked by how much he absorbed and realizes the freshness of the source is directly proportional to the amount of life essence he can obtain. The escorting officer, Ah Bing, notices his movement and tells him to sit still. Lin Zichen quickly claims he just needed to stretch. Later, at the public security office, he knows that while Ah Bing was easy to fool, the security captain is sharper. The captain informs Lin Zichen that he has applied for his bravery reward, but then questions him more seriously. He asks how a middle schooler, at such a distance and in poor lighting, managed to so precisely hit the heretic's knife hand with a rock. Lin Zichen gives a vague answer, claiming it's because he often trains his right hand. The odd response leaves the captain speechless. Their conversation is interrupted when Shen Qinghan calls out that her auntie is here. Lin Zichen is surprised to see his parents rush into the station. His mother runs towards him in a panic, calling his name with a terrified expression. She throws her arms around him in a tight hug, asking if he's all right and telling him he scared her half to death. He tries to calm her, reassuring her that he's fine and even got a bravery reward. Holding him close, his mother makes him promise that next time there's danger, he will hide somewhere safe first. She tells him with tears in her eyes that all she wants is to see him grow up safe. Lin Zichen is visibly moved by his mother's heartfelt concern. As they leave, Lin Zichen reassures his mother he will always protect himself first. The police captain watches them go, still pondering the boy's strange abilities. On their way out, Lin Zichen passes two female police officers discussing the case. One remarks that perverts are getting more brazen, and her colleague reveals the heretic was a liberal arts student from Guangyuan University, brainwashed by the rat god cult. The first officer curses the cult, but the second points out they need to eliminate the root cause, the self-proclaimed Rat King. The name instantly catches Lin Zichen's attention. In the car home, he immediately starts researching the rat god cult on his phone. Surprised to find a ton of information, he learns the cult's main base is in Shanghai City, and most of its members are societal outcasts. He uncovers a shocking piece of information suggesting the Rat King wants to evolve into a higher life form and is forcing its followers to gather evolution materials. This leads him to a chilling question. Has the Rat King, an aberrant beast, already developed sentience? His thoughts are interrupted when he glances out the window and sees a giant rat, nearly the size of a cat, on the sidewalk. For a moment, he wonders if it's related to the Rat King, but quickly dismisses the idea, telling himself that in the South, cat-sized rats aren't that unusual. Shaking off the thought, he realizes how quiet Shen Qinghan has been. He looks over and sees her squirming uncomfortably, her knees pressed tightly together. He immediately understands. He recalls that ever since she was a child, whenever she gets nervous or startled, she can't control her bladder. While embarrassing for her, Lin Zichen has always felt this peculiar reaction might be linked to some hidden potential within her. When they get home, Lin Zichen's mother, Zhang Wangxin, is shocked that the nearly 3,000 yen worth of beast meat is gone. Lin Zichen quickly thinks of an excuse, sheepishly claiming that during the emergency, he must have dropped it while running away. His mother immediately puts his safety first, telling him to forget the meat and that all that matters is he is unharmed. Lin Zichen breathes an internal sigh of relief, glad he fooled his mother. However, his father, Lin Yansheng, is more stubborn. He announces he is going back to look for the expensive meat, boasting that a fated wage slave like him is tough. Lin Zichen tries to stop him, arguing it's too dangerous and the meat is already spoiled. His father becomes suspicious, asking how he could know it had gone bad. Sweating nervously, Lin Zichen quickly claims it was an obvious guess. Meanwhile, back at the now empty public security office, the police captain is still pondering the night's strange events. As he smokes a cigarette, he can't shake the question of how an ordinary middle schooler could have thrown a rock with such incredible power and precision. Suddenly, he hears a strange noise from the corner. His eyes widen in shock as he sees a massive rat, far larger than any normal rodent, perched on top of the filing cabinets. Before he can react, the giant rat leaps down. The captain instantly draws his pistol and opens fire. The confrontation is swift and violent, ending in a bloody blur. The next day in class, Lin Zichen sighs at his desk. Reflecting on the previous night, he concludes he is still too weak compared to the powerful heretic and the female cyborg. He needs to make money fast to buy more beast meat like the ghost shadow squid to fill his guidebook's progress bar. He considers becoming an influencer or selling study materials, but dismisses the idea as too flashy and against his goal of keeping a low profile. Suddenly, an idea strikes him. He remembers that in this world, martial arts and gene fusion are more important than academics. He decides it's time to act. Later, he heads to the gym where the martial arts team practices in Building C. He finds Coach Guo drinking from a thermos and greets him. A surprised Coach Guo asks if he is there to join or just to learn more about the team. Instead of answering, Lin Zichen leans in and discreetly asks if joining the team offers a chance to compete in city tournaments and if the prize money is high. The coach smiles, confirming he would have a chance and that prizes are worth tens of thousands. With his main concern addressed, Lin Zichen shakes the coach's hand and announces he is joining the martial arts team today. Coach Guo happily welcomes him. The coach gathers the team to announce their new member. He introduces Lin Zichen, reminding them of his performance as the sports meet champion. The other team members, Zhang Kai, Huang Tianxing, or Xing, Li Shutong, and Han Yiguo, introduce themselves. Finally, Lin Zichen introduces himself. Since Lin Zichen has no formal martial arts training, Coach Guo demonstrates basic fist and leg techniques. The coach explains the moves look simple but are difficult to master, noting that the team's fastest learner, Li Shutong, took a week to perfect them. He then encourages Lin Zichen to try. Lin Zichen assumes a ready stance. Thanks to his celestial root of wisdom attribute, which grants him heaven-sent martial insight, he has already memorized and understood every detail of the demonstration just by watching. As he practices the fist techniques, a system notification awards him points in vitality, strength, dexterity, and proficiency. He executes the hand and fist movements with flawless precision and speed. He transitions seamlessly into the leg techniques, performing powerful, fluid kicks. Another system notification grants him points for his leg muscles, dexterity, and proficiency. The coach and the team watch in stunned silence. The coach's jaw drops, and he almost fumbles his thermos, unable to believe it. He wonders how someone could learn the complex forms perfectly after one look. Staring at the flawless performance, a single thought forms in his mind. He must be a once-in-a-million martial arts prodigy. That evening in Shanghai, Lin Zichen's mother, Zhang Wangxin, calls him for dinner. He rushes out eagerly, spoon in hand, asking what she made. She proudly presents a large platter of the ghost shadow squid he wanted. The aroma is incredible, and he tells his mother how amazing it smells. She urges him to eat while it's hot. He takes a bite and praises her cooking as the best in the world. Pleased, she tells him to eat a lot, as she bought 3 full gins for him. As he eats, a system notification appears. He has devoured a trace of the ghost shadow squid's life essence by consuming it, bringing his guidebook progress to 3.01%. He realizes with frustration that eating the meat works just as well. If he had known, he wouldn't have spoiled the first batch by touching it. While they eat, a news report catches their attention. It's about a 14-year-old genius girl, the youngest cyborg in history after fusing with an energy core. Her energy system grants her superhuman abilities, lifting a 5,000-kilogram SUV with one hand, sprinting 100 meters in 3 seconds, and jumping 8 meters vertically. Watching this, Lin Zichen ponders the debate in his world. Between the Kyoto prodigy's gene fusion and this girl's cybernetics, which path is stronger? His thoughts are interrupted by another breaking news story. It announces that the security captain they met, He Chun-shan, was killed in his office. Surveillance footage showed he was attacked and devoured by a giant mutant rat that infiltrated the station. Medics are shown wheeling his body into an ambulance. Lin Zichen is horrified. He recalls the large rat he saw the night before and wonders if it was connected. He imagines a giant rat rampaging through the city. The captain's death is a grim reminder of the escalating danger. Staring intently, Lin Zichen decides he must intensify his training immediately. Following the police captain's death, Lin Zichen dedicates himself to a grueling training regimen. After intense practice, he can now sprint 100 meters in a blistering 4.61 seconds. His physical power has skyrocketed. His vertical jump is 5.3 meters, and he can lift an astounding 1,200 kilograms with one hand. In addition to his personal training, he continues his martial arts practice with the school team, hoping to boost his strength quickly for the upcoming tournament. The next morning at school, he heads to the gym to practice, with a curious Shen Qinghan tagging along. On their way, a girl with pink hair warmly greets Lin Zichen and offers him a bottle of fresh milk. He politely declines, thanking her, and walks past with Shen Qinghan, leaving the girl disappointed. Watching from a distance is his teammate, Zhang Kai. He clenches his fist in anger, resentful that the person who beat him at the sports meet is rejecting a gift from the girl he admires. Unable to contain his frustration, Zhang Kai rushes forward and blocks their path. He confronts Lin Zichen, scolding him for his poor manners and for hurting the girl's feelings. When Lin Zichen calmly explains he is allergic to milk, Zhang Kai refuses to believe him and calls him a liar. Enraged, Zhang Kai points at Lin Zichen and challenges him to a spar. He sets the terms. If he loses, he will never bother Lin Zichen again, but if Lin Zichen loses, he must drink the whole bottle of milk. Just as the challenge is issued, a new system notification appears. A new achievement mission has been triggered. Defeat 1,000 different opponents in formal competition for the survival of the fittest biological trait. A sly grin spreads across Lin Zichen's face. This is the opportunity he has been waiting for. Surrounded by a menacing purple aura, he accepts the challenge, his eyes glinting with anticipation as he agrees to the spar. Word of the duel spreads quickly through the school. Two students excitedly decide to go watch the fight between the popular junior, Lin Zichen, and a senior. By the time they are ready, the gym is packed with onlookers in a large circle around the sparring area. The crowd is clearly on Lin Zichen's side. Many of his female fans cheer him on, telling him to teach his opponent a lesson, including the pink-haired girl from earlier who gets her phone ready. Zhang Kai scoffs, annoyed that everyone assumes he will lose. He internally admits Lin Zichen's talent has grown incredibly over the past month. He sees this duel as his last chance to put the rising genius in his place and show off his own strength. In contrast to his opponent's intensity, Lin Zichen seems unfazed. He casually states that he needs to go home for dinner and asks if they can make the fight quick. Taking this as an insult, Zhang Kai smirks and agrees to grant his wish. Coach Guo steps between them to officiate. He raises his hand to start, reminding them of the rules. However, before the fight begins, Zhang Kai shouts for them to wait. With a condescending grin, he offers Lin Zichen a handicap. He points out that he has trained for nearly 2 years, while Lin Zichen is a novice of only a month. To be fair, he declares he will let Lin Zichen have the first 3 moves. Lin Zichen simply agrees. The moment he agrees, Lin Zichen explodes into motion. He closes the distance in a blur, catching Zhang Kai by surprise. Before his opponent can raise his guard, Lin Zichen unleashes a single devastating punch. The blow connects with brutal force, sending blood flying from Zhang Kai's nose. He is knocked out instantly, collapsing unconscious on the gym floor. The entire gym is stunned into silence. Coach Guo's jaw drops as he stares in disbelief, shouting that the fight was over in one punch. The rest of the martial arts team and the crowd are equally shocked, calling the outcome ridiculous, unable to process that the duel was over in a single second. The silence is broken by a roar of celebration. Shen Qinghan throws her fist in the air, ecstatically cheering for Lin Zichen's victory. The other girls, including the one with pink hair, join in, shouting about how amazing he was. Standing over his defeated opponent, Lin Zichen receives a system notification. It informs him that by defeating a rival and winning the affection of the opposite sex, he has obtained priority mating rights. More importantly, his new mission progress is now 1,000. He reflects that he has a long way to go to unlock the natural selection attribute. To speed up his progress, he turns to the remaining, terrified members of the martial arts team. With a friendly but unsettling smile, he suggests they should all spar as well. The team members stare back, their faces pale with horror. Immediately, they all start making pathetic excuses. One has cram school, another's mother is waiting for dinner, while others pretend to feel sick. Before they can flee, Zhang Kai struggles to his knees. He refuses to accept his loss, furiously accusing Lin Zichen of a sneak attack and vowing to crush him in a rematch. Coach Guo steps in, telling Zhang Kai to accept his loss like a man. The coach then wonders aloud if the punch was just a lucky shot, deciding to test the theory on another team member named Xiao Lizi. Hearing his name, a spiky-haired boy freezes in terror. Though he assumes a fighting stance, he is clearly terrified, begging Lin Zichen for mercy and not to hit his face. 10 minutes later, the results are clear. Several martial arts team members are lying unconscious on the gym floor. Lin Zichen stands over them, noting he made sure not to go too hard on them and just exchanged a few blows. However, when he checks his system again, he is disappointed. Aside from the initial victory, none of the other spars counted toward his achievement. The rival count remains at 1,000. He realizes friendly sparring isn't enough. He has to defeat rivals in an official competition. As he thinks about this, a hand claps his shoulder. Coach Guo grins manically, declaring that Lin Zichen is a true genius. He exclaims that in just over a month, the newcomer has become the team's ace. Filled with new confidence, the coach proclaims that with Lin Zichen leading, their school will crush all others and take first place at this year's regional martial arts tournament. As Coach Guo celebrates, Lin Zichen has a moment of clarity. He realizes the coach is right. The upcoming tournament is the perfect opportunity to face many official opponents at once. He becomes determined, understanding that as long as he defeats them in an official competition, each victory should count toward his progress. His thoughts are interrupted when a defeated Zhang Kai calls his name. Having regained consciousness, Zhang Kai stands, points at Lin Zichen, and formally accepts his loss with a bizarre and overly graphic declaration of submission. His strange words leave everyone, including Shen Qinghan, Coach Guo, and Lin Zichen, completely shocked and disturbed. With the duel over, the spectators and coach quickly flee, leaving a bewildered Zhang Kai alone, complaining he hadn't finished his speech. In this world, high schoolers must choose between martial arts or academics. Given the world's dangers, the martial arts class is considered the superior choice. Determined not to be left behind, Shen Qinghan decides to join the martial arts class and begins training rigorously with Lin Zichen. Their daily routine is intense. They start with a 3,000-meter run, followed by an hour of hand-to-hand combat practice. After that, they do sit-ups and push-ups to build strength. To conclude each session, Lin Zichen gives Shen Qinghan a massage to relieve her muscle tension. Of course, Lin Zichen doesn't slack on his own training. He pushes himself to the limit daily, driven by the goal of winning the tournament and unlocking the natural selection attribute as quickly as possible. 1 month later, all their hard work is about to be tested. The day of the regional martial arts tournament has arrived, and a determined Lin Zichen is ready to compete.